Okay, video number 2, building muscle for the skinny guy, building muscle just in general. I mean, skinny guys build muscle for the same reason big guys build muscle. In all full disclosure though, of course, the amount of muscle that you can build is determined largely by how much muscle you start with. You know, so if you've got someone with 20 pounds of muscle and they double it, they go up to 40 pounds of muscle. But if you got someone with 2 pounds of muscle and they double it, they go up to 4. So it does largely depend on how much you have to begin with. But the actual process of building and getting bigger is the same for everybody. Now in the last video, I introduced you to I call the delta of muscle building. Missile building is a different topic for another day. But we've got neurological demand on one side of this thing, because building muscle and strength is a neurological activity. It's not physiological, it's expressed physiological. It's like crying. It's an emotional, it's a neurological, it's going through your nervous system that's expressed physically. So I covered skill, consistency, and progression. You gotta have those things all the time. Today we talk about recovery. Now it's a very common thing for people to say, all you need to do is just eat a lot more food. Eat more food. And this, I understand where people are going with this, but it's a cop-out answer. To be perfectly honest with you, because for one thing, it's easy to just say eat more. 2, it doesn't require any programming or anything like that. But 3, it also means that you're not really willing to get into the real reason why they're not building any muscle. It could be neurological, like I said. They don't have the skill, they don't have the consistency or the progression. But it could also be that food is certainly not the issue. But I don't know. Well, here, I'm getting ahead of myself. First thing we want to look at before we look at food is sleep. Because if you told me everything's great workout-wise, I just can't seem to recover well, I would bet dollars to donuts it's sleep over food. Especially these days, because in our society we're like, I can get by on like 40 seconds of sleep, and I was up until 4 a.m. working on this project at work, and I was up 20 minutes later, and so I'll sleep when I'm dead. We have a lack of sleep as kind of like this good thing within our society. But as far as your muscle building potential goes, that's no more. Being proud of getting by on little sleep is no more being proud of going into the gym and saying, I went and just played on Facebook the whole time and used the baby weights. It's no different. You need to sleep like it's your job. You need serious sleep. So again, consistency, because time, right? How much sleep are you getting? Not just a night, but over the course of a week. You want to have as much sleep as you can get. You want quality sleep too. Don't be drinking beforehand, be up at night 27 times. I got a buddy here of mine who he's always complaining about how he's always so tired and he can't get more than an hour of sleep at a time. And I'm always telling him, like, dude, if you could get your sleep down, you would be an absolute animal, because he's already pretty strong and big. But I'm like, if you could get your sleep, seriously, you'd turn into like the next Hulk. It would be insane. He's like, I know. But seriously, you don't build muscle if you're not sleeping well. So get your sleep down, and your sleep is just as important as your workouts. I think I've made my point there. Now, on to food. Like I said, people cop out and say, you just need to eat more. But sometimes food may be some part of the issue. I've met one guy where food was the issue and he couldn't build muscle and he ate more and he built. One guy in 12 years. That is the only guy who ever solved it with food. But food is part of the recovery process, so it's worth mentioning here. Number 1 is, just like with sleep, just like with neural load and neural demand, you've got to get consistent before you make changes. So get consistent with your diet. If you're eating organic salad one day and McDonald's the next, and you're fasting another day and then you're binge eating, it's all over the place. There's no consistency. Very hard to ever make progress when you are inconsistent with anything in your diet, your sleep, or your neural demands. So get consistent. What are you eating? When are you eating? And how much of it are you eating? It doesn't have to be exactly the same from one day to the next, but make it about the same kind of thing. Second of all, and this is kind of like the way I kind of look at it. I know this is total bro science, but I think it has some merit to it. If you want to grow, eat foods that grow themselves. So we're talking more natural things. We're talking, as Danny Cavadlo says, I eat a lot of plants and I eat a lot of animals. If you ate something that physically grew bigger in its life, chances are it's got something with it that will help you. I mean, think of an egg from a chicken. The egg contains the potential to literally turn into flesh and blood creature. So obviously it's got something in it that's going to make something grow. So why wouldn't it make you grow? Now I know this is not exactly the best science in the world, this enzyme does this kind of thing and so on. But the fact of the matter is we don't know the whole nutritional spectrum yet. We don't fully understand, and protein is only a small part of the muscle building process. In fact, most of your muscle is water. If you're interested in adjusting the things that your muscles are made out of, drink a lot of water. But protein, of course, is important. It's part of it, but it's not the whole story, not by a long shot. So here's the basic recommendations. Get your diet consistent, get at least 3 square meals a day, plant protein in portion with each one. I call it the 3 Ps. So get some protein with each meal, get some plants at each meal. Once you're consistent, then look into making changes. Only once you get all that taken care of should you say, oh yeah, I'll just eat more. If you're looking to eat more, don't feel like you need to go all crazy with like these supplements and protein shakes and stuff. My personal favorite, whenever I'm like feeling like I'm just getting a little too light, I need something more, vanilla ice cream, natural peanut butter. Mix it all together, boom, there you go. It's got some carbs, got some simple sugars, got some protein. It's wonderful. Dan John, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Keep it simple. Keep it something you want to eat. Keep it something that your body can readily use. I've always thought and believed that food is far better than anything you're gonna make up in a shaker bottle or get from like GNC, because it's gonna taste better, it's gonna be better satisfying, it's gonna have better nutritional value, bioavailability, and it's just your body's just gonna use real food a lot better than anything that came from a lab. And then finally, make sure you're drinking your water. Play around. Sometimes people feel a little bit like if they get a vitamin pill, that makes a little bit of a difference and stuff. But once you get consistent, then add just a little bit of extra food. See if it matters. And how do you know if it matters? It's not because you build muscle. Remember, muscle building is the last thing that happens. If you have a better diet, it's going to be reflected in a better workout. So that neural demand I was talking about, the skill, the consistency and the demand, that's going to improve. And if that improves, then the muscle building will follow down the line. But you can't just say, okay, I'm eating more, but I'm not building more, it's not working. It's gonna take a while for it to come about as far as an end result. So there you go. We've got the delta, muscle building delta. We got time, are things consistent, and how often and frequent are you doing things? Do you need to change it? You got recovery, and you got your neural demand. Which one of those are you deficient in if you're struggling to build muscle? Thoughts down below. Be fit, live free.